Okay, I think we should be live now. Hi, how's it going, everyone? My name is Mitchell Mander, and welcome to another live discussion of Pokemon Horizons. We're going to be talking about episode 56 today. The second part of the Elite Four exhibition matches at the Orange Academy. I just call it Orange Academy because I'm just used to it. But, yeah, Liko and Katy versus Rika. Also, Dot meeting Penny in this episode, and the Scarlet Book was shown off. So, how was the episode? Well, we're gonna get to that here soon. So, before we get started, I gotta just go ahead and kind of just lay this out just for anybody that's brand new here and is not, used to this type of content or is just discovering the channel for the first time. Actually, if you are discovering the channel for the first time, you should totally sub the channel, like the video, all that good stuff. But pretty much the lowdown of what we do here. So I usually give it a couple minutes here, maybe about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, somewhere in that range, for people to kind of just show up, start chatting a little bit. And then once we get either a few people in or we get to the 5-minute mark, either or, I usually get started. I usually give a summary of the episode, my thoughts, I assign a rating, and then I give it up to the people in the chat to give me their thoughts, and then we just have a good old discussion. So yeah, that's kind of what we do here. Also, the music you hear in the background comes from a separate stream, the Video Game Study Lounge. I have a link in the description for it. I usually listen to it when I'm studying, reading, working out, at work. I need something to listen to, to kind of get me through the work day, all that type of stuff. It's pretty neat. It's basically video game lo-fis and some original tracks as well. So, yeah, you should definitely check it out. But, yeah. We got a few people in. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Thomas? What's up, Rajas? I will, get with you in just a second. There's something I was gonna say really quickly, too. I'm just trying to think of what it was I was about to say. Oh, yeah, the agenda for today. So I'll be doing my summary, obviously, then giving it out to the, chat to go over the episode and assign their ratings as well. Also vote in the poll that I put out. We're also going to talk about that scene where Liko cried too, just because it caused a little bit of controversy online. I kind of wanted to talk about it just because, yeah. And then we'll also talk about the upcoming episode. Yeah, so we'll probably go on for about an hour, hour and a half, however long. So, anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. So anyways, what's up, Kevin? This episode broke the rules of the assignment. Last week's episode said that only the student can terastallize, but Rika terastallized her Clodsire. I thought it was only the gym leader that couldn't terastallize her Pokemon. Maybe I was wrong, or maybe Rika was just in the moment or whatever, but yeah. I was under the impression that only the gym leader couldn't terastallize their Pokemon, since the student was the one that's the main star. I love this episode, episode 56. I thought it was pretty good too. I'm gonna give my thoughts here in just a minute. I have a few things to say about this one, because I thought this one was, there's quite a bit to talk about here. Also, nice subtle setup to a future battle between Liko and Grusha too. So, low kicks was so sick. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that in a second, because oh my gosh, did it go crazy in this episode? And I was not expecting that of all Pokemon to actually be this impressive. So yeah. But hey, it is a gym leader too, so yeah. I guess I should have expected it to, be competent. But yeah, we got 6 people here. What's up, y'all? You should totally like the video and, say something in the chat. All that good stuff. It really helps. But anyways, we are at the 5-minute mark. So I'm going to go ahead and start reviewing the episode, or giving my summary of the episode, and I will get back with the chat. So you go ahead, feel free to, you know, leave your comments in the chat. I will get to it here in a minute. But for the time being, I'm going to talk about episode 56 of Pokemon Horizon. So we leave off where the previous episode left off, where Liko and Katy are ready to battle against Rika. In the midst of that, Terapagos takes off and Dot has to chase after us. So we're going to split this up. So we're going to talk about the A plot in the episode and then the B plot in the episode afterwards. So starting with the A plot, Liko and Katy versus Rika. So I like how, you know, they kind of noticed that Liko was very nervous. She was very stiff. And I like how Rika noticed this and they're just like, hey, look, you're stiff as a board. And I like how she was like teasing Rika. Or Liko, excuse me. Rika was teasing Liko. Their names drive me nuts. But anyways, I like how she's like, "Oh, hey, you know, Clodsire is very soft. You want to pet it?" And Liko goes to do it. He's like, "You can't do that. It's poisonous. You need to wear protective gloves in order to like pet it. Otherwise, you're getting poisoned." I don't know. I thought that was a nice moment, and it was kind of a nice moment to kind of just ease up the tension here, so Liko is not as tense anymore. So I thought that was really nice. We then go into the battle, and I like how Rika's got, you know, is basically commanding the battle and has, you know, got Liko and Katy on the ropes initially. And the strategy was to use Sludge Wave, and then, while Florgato's in the air, Dugtrio digs underground and then basically pops up where Florgato's going to land. It's not super effective, but, you know, after a while it's going to, you know, eventually, you know, inflict, you know, damage enough to where it could potentially faint. So it's a pretty nice strategy. And Liko is still very much nervous, and Katy has to kind of remind Liko, hey, you know, you got all kinds of things on your mind. I think Rika also pipes in too. He's like, remember what I said, think about, you know, just battling. You know, focus on the battle alone. Don't think about anything else, because if you're going to just, you know, have your mind wander all over the place, you aren't going to be able to concentrate, and you're not going to do very well here. So Liko ends up taking that advice, and yeah, ends up actually overcoming this initial block. When Sludge Wave was being utilized, Leafage was, I think it was Leafage, or was it Magical Leaf that was used to kind of just spread the wave, which I thought was kind of, it literally parted the Sludge Wave. And then where Dugtrio was actually going to pop up, I liked how Florgato actually just stepped on it and then used Magical Leaf hitting it, and it caught Grusha's attention, which I thought was a pretty nice moment. But then the strategy changes because Florgato's going to use Quick Attack, and Clodsire immediately puts up Poison Jab. I was going to say Quick Attack is supposed to attack first, but, you know, whatever. It is the Pokemon anime, but whatever. Anyways, moving on, I like how Low Kicks. I want to say this is the point where Low Kicks actually steps in and actually saves Florgato, because at first Liko didn't know what to do here, and it was kind of in a moment where Florgato was about to take a super effective hit, and Low Kicks steps in, takes the hit, saves Florgato, and gets poisoned. However, this activates its special ability, or hidden ability, which is Swarm, I believe. And yeah, this is where Katy gets super fired up, and she just goes wild and actually pressures Rika quite a bit. It is literally it's 1v2ing these two Elite Four Pokemon, and it's actually handling itself despite the fact that it's poisoned. Literally, it just unleashes a barrage of moves. They're like throwing a bunch of projectiles at it, and it's just using Struggle Bug to weaken them. Hitting them with, Lunge, which is powered up. And then also using Bounce, which Dugtrio takes the hit. It was supposed to hit Clodsire, but Dugtrio kind of jumps in, kind of like similar to how Low Kicks jumps in to save Florgato. And itself ends up getting inflicted with, a status effect, being paralyzed. And apparently this takes out Dugtrio. But Low Kicks ends up succumbing to the poison and faints. Well, I guess just stands there, but whatever. So then it basically turns from a 2v2 to a 1v1. And it's Florgato versus Clodsire. And, yeah, this technique is used again, where Florgato uses Quick Attack, Clodsire sets up a poison jab, and it uses its vine and flower bud to actually grab onto the little bit of like spikes that are coming out of Clodsire, and actually turns around and ends up learning, instead of can't speak instead of using Quick Attack, it ends up learning a brand new move, Aerobatics, which is awesome. I've been wanting Florgato to learn a new move for a long time, so that made me happy, and it managed to land a pretty good hit. I also like that Katy kind of points out that, hey, Clodsire's attacks are weakened now. So, you kind of got, a little bit of an advantage now. But anyways, we get to the finale of the battle. Liko's getting pumped up here. She's really starting to really enjoy the battle. And ends up terrestrializing Florgato, and then Rika terrestrializes Clodsire. They clash, and obviously, Clodsire is more powerful than an Elite Four Pokemon, and overcomes Florgato, taking it out. And as the battle comes to an end, Liko is overcome with a bunch of emotion, and she doesn't even she actually is surprised that she's crying too. She's like, "Why am I crying?" And I like how Katy comforts her, and tells her to kind of, take it in. So yeah, there was Plot A. Plot B, we have Terrapagos messing around and going into the school library area. And this is where Dot meets Penny. And this is I thought this interaction was interesting. They're both introverts, they're both very shy, and it's, kind of seeing them interact, it's kind of nice. It's kind of funny too. But I get the feeling that these two are going to have a, strong friendship that's going to go on. Like, this is actually, like, this meeting here, I feel like it's going to have a lot of meaning later on. And as we can see here, Penny is actually spying on Agate, who happens to be reading from the Scarlet Book. Also, Heath was mentioned in the episode, which I thought was super interesting. I was not expecting that. But, yeah, she's reading from the Scarlet Book, which I thought was pretty neat. Interesting to note is that Penny is actually, like, working with the Pokemon League, which, that's kind of neat. I was going to say, isn't that after the game story? So I guess people that are saying that this takes place after Horizons takes place after games might be onto something, though I still kind of argue that the games and the anime kind of do their own thing, so yeah, there's that. But anyways, Penny has been spying on Agate, and she actually she reveals that she knows Dot's name just because, she registered for the Terrestrial Course. But Agate, it seems to just popped up in the code, like, out of nowhere, so she's kind of suspicious of her. And Dot and her, exchange contact, so she's like, hey, if you learn anything about her, let me know. I like how Dot doesn't recognize that Agate is from the Explorers. I mean, I guess her design, her costume, I guess her design as a school teacher or undercover, like, I don't know what you would call it, undercover, like, school teacher outfit, is a little bit more discreet compared to Sango and Onyx, who look very much more, like, they stand out a lot more, I guess, specifically Sango. But Dot ends up interacting with Agate here, and I'm pretty sure that Agate obviously knows who Dot is, but she has to, keep her, cool, not, and just attack her out of nowhere. So she ends up putting the Scarlet Book away, which I thought was a little weird. You'd think that she'd just take that with her. But Dot ends up, reading the book and ends up, renting it from the library later on. So that was kind of an interesting moment. I'm wondering if maybe this is bait. Maybe Agate is baiting Dot to rent out the book or something. Maybe so that they're aware of what, Terrapagos' background is or something. Not really sure, But yeah, there's that. But anyways, after everything wraps up, they Liko's friends congratulate her and stuff, for doing a good job in the battle. And I like how afterwards, like, Grusha ends up coming up to Liko, and Liko's actually kind of like, what? Like, who are you? I thought that was a funny moment. But anyways, the episode comes to an end with Dot showing off the Scarlet Book to Liko and Roy. And Terrapago seems to be very interested in a certain page, which obviously is it shows the stellar form. So, yeah, that's where the episode comes to an end. So overall, I thought this was a very good episode, in my opinion. I thought it was pretty good. I actually enjoyed it more than last week's episode. The pacing was a lot better in this episode. The pacing was a lot more fast-paced in the previous episode. So I liked that, this episode was the pace the way it was. Like, you had both plot lines kind of intersecting with one another. But, obviously the B plot line, it's a very important, but it doesn't, ruin, the actual A plot in the episode. So I think the pacing-wise, this episode was really good. The battle was paced really well, and I thought it was very enjoyable. I liked how Liko kind of learned to enjoy battles a little bit more. She became a lot less stiff. So maybe this is going to help her, not only enjoy battles more, but actually give her more confidence and make her, when she's going up against more powerful opponents in the future, just not freeze up as much. Maybe she'll need this when she goes up against Grusha. Maybe this will, tie in here to that battle. Who knows? But, I thought this was a very solid episode, a good episode for Liko's development. Florigato learned a new move, and that was really good. I'm going to save the crying scene for later. All I'll say for now is that, I think that in the context of the episode and then in the moment, it makes perfect sense, in my opinion. It's also really well animated, too. But we'll get into that discussion in a little bit. And then the B plotline was very interesting. Dot and Penny, they're introverts, so their interactions made sense, and I do like that they did connect with one another, so I want to see more of their interactions in the future. And also, maybe Cassiopeia will be a thing in the anime. Maybe she ends up talking to Liko or something like that through that, that disguise or that fake name. That'd be kind of interesting. But I do think it's very interesting with Agate and the Scarlet Book. I just found it a little weird that she kind of just had the book out in plain sight. She clearly probably knows who Dot is, because Dot went up against her in episode 44. So it kind of strikes me as a little odd that she is, she has the Scarlet Book in her hand. She just kind of just leaves it over there, out for Dot to just pick up. Though I do think there may be a reason behind that. And we'll find out later, maybe. But to me, this was a very good episode in my opinion. I've been trying to decide whether I want to give it an 8 or a 9. How does an 8.5 sound? I think that sounds good to me. If I can't decide between an 8 and a 9, I guess an 8.5 is, we're going to meet halfway. So that's my thoughts. So what do you guys think? And now I will get caught up in the chat now that I'm done going over my thoughts on the episode. Also, Dot's a fan of, was it, occult stuff or whatever? Or, some, series of books or something. It was kind of weird. I don't know, I thought it was kind of interesting. I think those tears were justified. Katy Comforter was next level character development. I agree with that. I actually thought, we'll get into that in a moment, but yeah, I thought that was actually a really good moment for Liko. I enjoyed Dot and Penny quality time together. Me too. Oh, please, Mitchell James became built a resistance to Marini's poison. Oh, yeah. Though that was more gaggy. So, do you want to see, purple skin Liko? That'd be kind of weird. Hey, what's up, Pokefan? Doug Trio wasn't knocked out, it was paralyzed, so Rika stopped commanding it. Yeah, I know. I enjoyed the episode, kind of annoyed about the controversy because realistically we've had this before where a character cried after a major loss because they were actually enjoying themselves. I agree. We'll get into that in a moment, and kind of just my thoughts on the whole thing. Liko's goal is to understand Pokemon's feelings and battling, and being in touch with Florgato through her desire to win for Liko is exactly what you would want to see. So yeah, I fully agree with that. It does line up a lot with kind of like her own goals. I just like people kind of take things a little bit, you know. I feel like people were taking that a little bit too seriously. It was only like a couple second scene too. But again, we'll get into that in a moment. The Dot Penny stuff was nice. Wish we had more. I do too. I feel like they did exchange contacts in the episode, so I feel like there's more to come with this. I feel like Penny and Dot's, you know, interaction here is going to play an important role later on. Maybe later on in this arc. Maybe exposing the explorers and realizing they infiltrated the school. Because Penny's already caught on the fact that Agate just showed up. So she might be able to connect the dots that maybe her, Sango, and Onyx are working together or something. That'd be cool. I feel like the whole reason is Agate is really wanting to research. I don't think she will launch an attack till the end of the arc. Yeah, probably not. Are you excited for episode 57? I'm very intrigued in episode 57. I haven't really did a video discussion about my thoughts. We did get a summary for that episode, but we haven't gotten summaries for... Well, we got a partial summary for episode 58, but it's not enough to go off of. I'm still waiting for that summary for that a full-on summary for that episode, and then the episode at the end of July before I kind of talk about things. But I might end up making a video this upcoming week about it, just so I can get it off my chest. I thought it was manga. Yeah, I think it was some manga series or something. Grusha seems interested in Liko, though. I don't know what he meant at the end there, that she's frigid. By the way, hi Katy. How are you doing? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, Katy. I think this is the first time I've seen you here, Katy. I hope you're doing well, and welcome in. The more the merrier, I say. Yeah, the frigid comment, I'm a little bit unsure what Grusha meant by that. Maybe it was how she was acting in the beginning or something, or maybe it's something that he's willing to help her out with or something when we get to Liko versus Grusha maybe later on. I do like that this episode kind of teased that battle coming up. That was kind of nice. I think this should be a wake-up call for Liko. I feel like it's great Flora learned aerobatics. It would have been nicer to learn a move that can be beneficial. I get it, but aerobatics I think is a step in the right direction, though. We're kind of moving away from its basic moveset. So I think learning this move here was actually a really good sign that it's going to be learning some better moves here going forward. I doubt it will happen, but I'm surprised nobody asked what's that creature on the cover. Right. That is true. Very small part in the episode, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Kind of just adds the Dot's character a little bit. They really need to learn another move so they can use terrestrializing properly. Like, it would have been great for Dot to go up against Grusha so she could terrestrialize Quaxley to fighting so she could pull a win. You know, you got a good point there, because Quaxley does have a fighting type move, so that could, you know, give Quaxley the upper hand there. Though Quaxley is possibly going up against the Dunsparce, so it's got a super effective move on that. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like aerobatics is a fine move for Florgato. I mean, I don't have any problem with it. I think people have been kind of wanting a move like that or something else for a little bit. I've been wanting it to learn a new move forever. You've probably, if you've been following me for a little bit, you know that I've been a little bit frustrated with its current move set. And I kind of want it to learn some new moves, so. I just hope maybe it got rid of Scratch or something like that. Because we don't need it, you know, using Scratch. I'll take Slash at this point. But yeah, I'm definitely happy it learned a new move here. It definitely needed it. And I'm looking up its moveset right here in the games. So I know for sure what I'm talking about. Okay. Seed Bomb would have been nice too. Energy Ball, Play Rough, Leaf Storm. Those are all potential moves it could learn in the future. Rex is actually probably the best thing they could have done since held items do exist in the anime, so with her having no item, it's double damage. Good point. So yeah, Clodsire was definitely feeling that one. What move said Liko deleted everything and just kept Magical Leaf? Oh, yeah, you know, good point. Yo, did we just hit 10 likes? Wow. Awesome. Thank you so much. Can we, like, maybe one of these days move the goal to 20 likes? Just saying. We've been hitting 10 likes here, but 20 likes would be amazing, but, you know, that's to be seen. Where are we at in the poll, by the way? We have 12 votes. Majority is saying 10-9. No, it should be saying that nobody's voting lower than 8 or 7, so that's a pretty good sign, in my opinion. A flying type move for a grass type Pokemon, lol. Yes, it is a step in the right direction. Roy has a variety of moves that he could use to rationalize and fight Coco if he smartens up. I mean, sure. But I will take aerobatics. Though granted, it's not a move that I think Florgato can normally use, I want to say. Which I think is kind of interesting. Huh. Oh well. Do we really want Leaf Storm special attack drops and more spamming of leaves? I mean, I feel like it's inevitable, dude. I'm kind of accepted that that's eventually the path that it's going to take when it probably fully evolves. Dot ass bag. Penny was holding, but Penny showed her bag. Oh yeah, I thought that was funny. Like, oh, Eevee bag. No, I meant that bag you're holding. You're just stealing it. It can learn it from a TM in the games I researched. Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, I'll take it. It makes Florgato's moveset a little bit more diverse, at least. But yeah, anywho. Let's see. Honestly, I'd rather have Flower Trick than Leaf Storm since Meowscarada has physical plus signature move. I mean, Flower Trick is definitely going to happen. As long as it fully evolves. But anyways, so before we move on to the next episode, I kind of wanted to get the elephant out of the room because we kind of briefly talked about it here and there, but I wanted to have a full-on discussion here about it. So obviously the Liko crying scene. So obviously before subs came out, this caused a bit of discourse on Twitter, with quite a few people actually talking about how it just felt out of character and just kind of out of nowhere for Liko to get upset in this moment and start crying and kind of say like, oh, well, where was this, in the Katy episode? Where was this, when she battled Cub? Or whatever his name is, Kafu or whatever? Not Kofu. Or Kabu, excuse me. I don't know what I'm thinking. Like, where was this before? And now, why is she just suddenly crying now? It doesn't make sense. It's out of character. It doesn't make sense for her. And I'm kind of just a little bit like off-put by this. I'm like, of all things to kind of complain about or like have an issue with, it's this scene out of all things. Like, I'm not trying to like say people are like wrong for thinking this way, but it just kind of strikes me as odd. I kind of feel like we're grasping at straws a little bit, and we're just kind of just grabbing at something that could be wrong with the episode. Be like, hey, look, this is bad. This is bad for her character. I don't know. To me, I just feel like it's just such a it's honestly a nice moment for Liko, because she clearly was like nervous at the beginning of this battle, and they were trying to loosen her up, and as the battle went on, she began to enjoy it more. So, and she was doing pretty well for herself. Let's just be real. She's going up against an Elite Four member, and she's not fainting immediately. She held her own for a little bit, and she improved as the battle went on, learned a whole new move. Obviously she went down after Terrasilize, and I kind of wish that like they'd spend a little bit more time at Terrasilize in their Pokemon. There was one critique with the battle. It's I guess battles lately. It's that the Pokemon Terrasilize, and then the battle just ends like right afterwards. So maybe there's a little bit of criticism there, but I feel like the moment where Liko cried was not a moment that, should have been, a problem. It feels like this was a great moment for her where she kind of just got, she was upset and frustrated from her loss. And she even said, I don't even know why. She's like, why am I crying? It's because it was in the moment. It shows, it's a very human response to that. She's also, 10 years old, and be real with yourself. When you were 10 years old and you lost at something, whether it was, like a friendly competition or something, don't tell me you didn't, get emotional at your loss. Don't tell me you didn't, cry. I mean, maybe not all kids do, but, I can tell you right now, whenever I was in competitions and I lost, I got upset. I broke down. You're in the moment, you're excited, you think you're going to do really well, and ultimately you end up losing. It's a very human response to, react that way, especially for a child. So to me, her reacting this way, I mean, sure, I think this is the first time we've seen Liko really cry in the series. In episode 2, she slightly cries a little bit when Sprigatito gets stolen, and that kind of is a human response to that too. So I feel like this to me was a great moment, and I don't see the problem with it. I don't think it's inconsistent. I don't know what about it is inconsistent, I guess. Are you saying, oh, because Liko lost, I guess the argument is Liko and Roy couldn't beat Rayquaza, so Liko should have just broke down and cried then too, or something like that. I kind of feel like that was more of an intense situation, whereas this is, more of a focused battle kind of situation. Also, we're gonna forget that, when Ash was the main character and he lost against Richie in the original series, you didn't see him break down and cry like this, but he was clearly upset and emotional over it. So I don't know. I'm just kind of a little bit. I mean, I get that Liko and Ash are different characters, but still, come on now. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm just rambling here. maybe you can back me up or, you know, counter what I'm saying, but I just feel like this was not... It was not even a very long moment either. I just felt like this was actually a nice moment for Liko's character, personally. Showing, you know, even though, like, she was having a good time and she ended up losing, so she had an emotional response to that. So, to me, I see no problem with this scene. I guess that's my bottom line. But to each their own, I suppose. Hopefully my rant wasn't too overly complicated there, but I wanted to get that off my chest because I saw just a bunch of people just coming out and like complaining about this and talking about how it's inconsistent, you know, it's bad writing and stuff. I'm like how is it bad writing? Like what? And it kind of, I feel like they're kind of just making the scene up like a problem. Like they're making an issue out of it. And to me, I'm sitting here, I'm like, why are we, like, of all scenes, like, I feel like there's other things you can criticize in the series. Like, I think we can agree that Watrel and Hatena didn't have, like, you know, enough representation or, like, involvement in, like, the series before they evolved. Hatena had more screen time, I'll give it that, but, like, we were all just sitting here like, we want to see Watrel. Where's Watrel? I feel like that's a fair criticism right there of the series. For that, I would say that's a good example of us criticizing the series and wanting the series to do better in that regard. This, on the other hand, just seems minuscule, and I don't think that this is a problem. And then I see people, yeah, they're like, oh, what did Liko expect? She's going up against an Elite Four member. Did she think she was going to win? I'm like, not necessarily win, but she was in the moment, dude. Again, a young character, too. And I do like that Katy consoled her and basically told her to take it in. And it was a nice moment, so I don't get it. So, those are my thoughts on that whole scene. That, for some reason, caused controversy, which I don't think it should have been a mix. The series that scene should have been mixed, I guess, is my bottom line. Anyways, what's up, y'all? I have to say it. If people attack me, I don't care. How is it fair that a character like Serena or May gets to cry when they have a moment of weakness, yet Liko can't? Bruh, people like to literally pretend. Humans can't show weakness. If it's not the Ash era, you can go crap off. Like, grow up, y'all. She did her best, and that's all she can ask. You hit the nail on the head, Pokefan. I remember when Serena had her moment where she lost her first, you know, performance. She went out and broke down. She held it in, but she broke down. And people point to that as being like a great scene and a great moment for her character. Obviously, she ends up cutting her hair right afterwards. Like, whenever people like bring up Serena, they bring up that moment as a pivotal moment in like her character arc. Obviously, I think that, you know, that was probably a bigger moment for Serena than this was for Liko, for example. But, like, still, she had a very human response to that. She held it in, and, you know, because she held it in for so long, she broke down later on. And I will agree that it is a great moment for her character, but, like you said, these characters can have these moments. You know, May could cry, Dawn could cry, you know, Serena could cry, but Liko can't. Yeah. I don't know. It was justified, I feel you, my guy. I grant you, Liko is very strong, but she could have pulled off a win at least against Doug Trio. Katy recalled low kicks because bad moved. Oh. Censored move. If that is the case, then he should have just done the battle yourself with Heteram and Flora. To do that to a beginner trainer was very rude. I mean, I'd say that probably the Elite Four was still at least holding back to a degree. Maybe the Rika kind of got like lost in it later on and was like, all right, I'm not holding back anymore, kind of thing. But yeah. I mean, it's not like they just beat them down. They were just kind of... This was an exhibition match, and it was also basically to train them at the same time. You know, to kind of get them to, you know, have a better understanding of battles and their surroundings and stuff like that, too. So you kind of got to think about it that way. Like, when I see people like, oh, you know, they lost again, I'm like, well, yeah, they lost against Elite Four members, dude. Were you expecting them to just, you know, win these battles? I mean, Dot technically won. Dot and Iono won the battle, but Dot really didn't feel like she won, and really it was Iono that was the one that pulled off the W in the end. And that's why Dot felt frustrated and was like, I didn't really feel like I did a whole lot there, you know? And then there's some people that were also complaining that these battles, they're like, why are we having Elite Four battles now? This series is just rushing stuff. I'm like, bro, this is an exhibition match. This is not the real deal. Like, really? Like, are we really, like, again, I feel like people are finding stuff to complain about that, like, these are not, like, actual issues with the series. I feel like the people that are actually watching Horizons, like, week to week, know what the pros and cons are for the series. Just saying. Another thing I was saying is, yes, she is against an Elite Four member. She had a type disadvantage, but that doesn't mean she didn't give it everything. Ash has shown us very well that even at disadvantage, you can still fight. Again, there you go. Agreed. That girl, yo, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? Welcome in. I know Roy going up against Rhyme was going to be obvious. However, Roy has double battles with Kilowattrel and Voikoko. Liko hasn't double battled with Hedoram and Flora. I would like a double battle with those two. It'd be pretty cool. Hedoram literally just evolved, though. It literally just evolved right before we came back, so we still got a little bit of time for that, maybe, to you know, show up. Practice battles are just that, practice. Yes, exactly. Double battles consistent of teamwork, and Katy abandoned her. Consistent of teamwork, and Katy abandoned her mid battle. I don't know if I agree with that. Katy is the one that saved Liko, and low kicks was kind of, you know, had a ticking time on it, you know, where it only had so much time before it succumbed to the poison. So it basically put in all this work and then eventually fell to the poison. If it wasn't for that, you know, Liko would have literally been fighting, you know, 2 Pokemon. Dugtrio got paralyzed because of low kicks, and Katy, you know, pushing it and going all out in the battle. Liko had the right to cry. Really good episode this week. Liko did amazing, even though she broke down. She needs to accept she's a good trainer and not doubt herself. Rika Urchili is awesome. Love her so much. Nice to see Grusha and Penny. Yeah, I think that this serves as like a good moment for Liko moving forward, where like when it comes to Pokemon battles, she's kind of learning to enjoy battles. And this is kind of just more so with her character growth, too. She's not, like, the best. She's not the strongest character, but, like, she's kind of starting to slowly learn to enjoy battles. Like, go back to when she had that battle against Kabu back in the Galar arc. Her and Roy went up against Kabu and that gym trainer. I can't remember her name, but remember when she gave up that battle because she felt bad? You know, she didn't want to upset her opponent. You know, she's kind of grown a lot since then. You know, she kind of wasn't really sure of herself back then. She wasn't super confident. And she still has those issues, you know, because of her personality trait. But hey, she's getting, you know, better. She's becoming more confident. I feel like this was like a good moment for her to, enjoy battles, become less stiffened by them, and just go all out and have fun. I think that was the whole point here. And in all honesty, I think this was really a good moment for her. So I think these exhibition matches were a good idea, a good choice for some episodes that tide us over before we kind of go on to the next phase of this arc. I do a good bit of training with the kids in my fan series from time to time, and realistically I try to present them getting better while also still needing the go-ways. Gotcha. Doing fine, thanks for asking. How are you? I am doing alright. I am just relaxing today. It's been a week. Next week is going into a holiday, so it's going to be pretty busy next week, so I'm just going to relax. I got vacation coming up in a few weeks, so can't wait for that. Fun stuff. But sometimes I worry about quick evolution. Remember Drizzle? Yeah. Yeah. I see people already wondering when Fuecoco and Quaxley are going to evolve. There's actually someone that keeps saying that Quaxley is going to be evolving in this upcoming episode. I kind of want to get, some summaries and stuff to kind of figure out what the episode is going to be about. I do think that at this point, the episode with Quaxley more than likely is going to be the battle against Larry at the end of July. I watched the episode I didn't watch the episode, just watched the episode reviews. I watched the dub, so I don't have an educated opinion. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. That's true. Katy and Rika helped her realize not to doubt herself, but also to believe in her partner, as Florgato tends to never give up. I see, that's awesome. Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. See, and that's another thing is Liko wanted to understand, the feelings of Pokemon, and, the one thing about Florgato is Florgato likes to battle, so she's trying to get in sync with her Pokemon. That was another important thing in this episode. That's something that's, that's very much stressed in the Pokemon anime, is being in sync with your Pokemon. And this helps Liko be more in sync with her Pokemon, even if she ends up losing. I do kind of think if Dot's Quaxley first evolves, Roy's Fuecoco maybe won't evolve. Wait, hold on guys, what's going on? Oh, never mind. My computer flashed for a second, so I was like, please don't crash. Seems okay right now. Okay, we're good. I freaked out for a second. My thing just flashed out of nowhere. Oh, please don't crash on me. In regards to upcoming events, I want the following: A, good entertaining gym battles, and B, captures. Yeah, some people are already thinking we might get some captures in next week's episode, but I feel like we might want to hold on that. I feel like a big part of the episode is going to be, learning about Terapagos, maybe. Rhyford is in the episode, so maybe we'll get to learn a thing or two. Or maybe some more stuff about Paldea. Well, I can't wait for next week. I'm praying Liko catches the adorable Charcadet. Yeah, I'm a little bit on the fence with that. Usually when it comes to capture episodes, they're more focus episodes. That's kind of the main focus. Whereas the focus here kind of seems more on learning about Terapagos. But we'll see. Guess we'll see what the people that watch the episode early have to say. But this is a different era, not Ash, so every single Pokemon on their teams will evolve. Unfortunately. I've been getting very annoyed with people saying Liko doesn't deserve Charcadet. The reason they're dumb only because she can't have a second psychic type later, but Roy can get a second ghost. Yeah, like I said, I think we need. I'm just gonna be honest. I'd say just so no one gets disappointed, I'd say keep your expectations kind of low, and if a capture does happen, great. But if it doesn't, don't get super upset. That's just kind of the way. That's just my mindset going into this next episode. I feel like we're just gonna be focusing more on learning about Terapagos and stuff. That's kind of like the title of the episode too. So just putting it out there. Because I've seen this in the past where people put their expectations high, like, oh my gosh, this Pokemon's going to be captured, or like they're going to beat this person, and then the opposite happens, and then everybody gets mad. The anipoke community's online cycle. Hypes up something, then gets disappointed. The other reason is dumb because the Dex doesn't say they're rivals. They don't have to be rivals. The point is the evolution. There are two sides of the coins, right? Everybody thinks they're going to double capture next. Exactly, Mitch. It's supposed to be Terapagos focus. Doesn't feel like a capture episode. Perhaps, but considering Ametheo has Cerulege, someone has to own a Charcadet and evolve it to Armor Rouge. I mean, sure. I'm not saying, like, again, I'm not going to say, oh no, it's definitely not happening 100%. But I always like to say, let's just keep our expectations in check, since the main focus of the episode is obviously not on them. They might be getting showcase here, though. A capture would be kind of nice, though. Not gonna lie. Hello, motorcycle man, coming down my road, blaring your motorcycle. Thank you. Anyways. I mean, Ash and Go did a double capture once, so it's not impossible, but yeah, but this is also not that series, and that series was structured a little bit differently, where Go would just capture Pokemon on the fly sometimes. We did have Ash catching Galarian Farfetch before Go catching Sobble, but yeah. I just feel like the characters might get like one more Pokemon, and that might round up their team and have like 3 Pokemon each. But who knows? But hey, maybe they need a third Pokemon for when we go to, you know, the final rounds of the Terrestrial course. Who knows? Maybe that's what forces them to get another Pokemon. I think Roy might catch Grimmighoul, but he also stole some of his coins. You know, I saw that. I think it's either Liko or Freed, since they're both rivals to Ametheo. Maybe. I don't think he stole it. He just found it and he wants to return it. Yeah. I think Goldengo personally would rather Freed take it on the ship. I wouldn't be surprised if like Grimmighoul was like a Pokemon that like hung out on the ship. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that, but who knows. It's still going to be a little while before we go on the ship, I feel. And the concept that Charcadet could be Charlos. Maybe. Hey, another like. What's up? Thank you so much. We're at 13 likes. Whoa. What's up, y'all? We got 7 more likes and we're at 20. Actually, let's try to get to 15 first. If we can get 2 more likes before the stream ends, that'd be cool, but, you know, we'll see. We're pretty close, though. Okay. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for next week's episode. I want to know, not only more about Terrapagos. Another thing I thought was interesting in the preview, I don't think anyone's mentioned this, is that, I want to say, Rhyfort has a Zoroark, and it immediately jumps on, Freed, and Freed looks very disturbed about the Zoroark. So a lot of people are thinking maybe they have, like, history or something like that. Yeah, just something interesting. Just some food for thought. Kind of what I'm thinking is he likes to hang out at the academy. That's what I think. Not expecting to see my girl Mela. Won't get my hopes up. Yeah, not really sure. Another thing I want to point out really quickly is back when the terrestrial debut poster came out back, I think, was it March? I want to say when that came out, so over 3 months ago. Oh my gosh. When that poster came out, Mabostiff was showcased on it. I think that might be the only thing from that poster that hasn't shown up in the anime yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have to go back and relook at that poster because I haven't seen it in a minute. But if I recall, like, Mabostiff was on there, so we've got to at least see Mabostiff before this arc ends. So maybe that's coming up soon. Agate reading that book makes me think she owns it and decided to put it back as she knew Dot would pick it up and read it as soon as she left. Agate isn't dumb like Sango and the other dude. I agree, but Dot was able to rent that out from the library, which tells me that that book is there at the school. But I do feel like Agate probably might have done that for a reason, maybe to get them to learn more about it, and maybe that's what causes them to kind of, you know, spy on them a little bit more or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, I feel like, you know, there has to be a reason, because, like, you'd think that she'd just take the book with her and not just leave it there. Or maybe she can't do that because she's, you know, faculty or something like that, and her taking that would be suspicious. Who knows? I do like the fact that Penny is already kind of onto her, so I feel like there's going to be more coming with that. Maybe Penny later down the road is like, you know, maybe when we get to the end of this arc, when we get like the climax of this chapter, Penny's like, hey, Dot, you know, these people, they just showed up in here. They're not actual, like, students, or the Agate's not an actual teacher. They're clearly, like, something going on here, and maybe there's something there. I don't know. I'm just going to put it out there that Penny and Dot, you know, exchanging contacts, I feel is going to come into play later on. I don't think they did that, you know, and they're not going to do anything with it later on. They did that for a very specific reason. Another reason I think Liko needs Char Cadet that I don't see people bringing up ever is because it's Scarlet's Dex entry. It has a fiery spirit and likes battling. It will even fight stronger foes. You know, that would actually be good, you know. Maybe it helps Liko, you know, learn to appreciate battles even more or something like that, and it gets stronger with it. That'd be cool. Before that, I would like to see Heteram actually get some spotlight in some battles here coming up, though. I don't think they will venture into Team Star. They might show up, but I don't know if they're really gonna do much. Like, I don't think there's gonna be like this big arc with them. If anything, I feel like Team Star would end up helping Liko and the others against the Explorers. Just saying. Imagine he's just scared because he thinks it's a Hisuian one and he's gonna die. That would be funny. maybe a hint that we're going to get Cleavor next. True, but Agate definitely knew Dot would be so interested in it. She's smart. Yeah, there's a chance that she probably caught on to that, and maybe that's why she left it there for Dot to, do that. And so maybe it's just, a trap. Maybe she did it so that she could monitor them or something like that. Maybe there's some type of tracking device on it that she planted and we just don't know it. Who knows? I noticed all the Pokemon that are shown in the opening is all Pokemon they are encountering, so the next filler episodes will be Frigbacks. That's the only catch I could be happy with Roy getting. I wouldn't say we have filler so much in Horizons, though. Since, even in the episodes that seem inconsequential, they're still somewhat connected. I'd just say that they're episodes that, aren't super plot important. I don't know. Kind of hard to say. I wonder what Amethio is doing. I really thought he would be the one attending the school, not Onyx. Onyx looks so old. Amethio is currently tracking Spinel. And Spinel seems to be, doing his own thing and taking the Requiem for his own. So that's probably going to be what he's doing in the background. I feel like they planted that in episode 54 for a reason. Be like, okay, well, this is all going on. This is also going on at the same time. So these, two plot lines might end up colliding. And maybe that's how this arc comes to an end or something. Who knows? Amethio and Spinel showing up, and Spinel maybe shows his true colors. I still gotta make that video. Maybe when I'm on break in a couple weeks, I'll make that video. Onyx looks so old. I will say there are older NPCs in the games that are students, so it seems like the school kind of accommodates people of all ages, it seems. From kids to, older adults, so I mean, I don't know how the academy operates. It kind of seems like it does its own thing, but yeah, you see older students in the games, which I remember seeing that. I was like, oh, I mean, I guess you're never too old to get an education. So, yeah, there's that. Why do I randomly now see Flora using her yo-yo as a jump rope? I wouldn't be surprised if something like that actually happened later on. They're doing that in the background randomly. That'd be funny. The ship is half fixed. What do you think is going to happen when it is fixed? I highly doubt the gang are going to stick around at the school for much longer. I feel like the ship is going to be completed and it's going to coincide with Liko, Roy, and Dot finishing up the terrestrial course. And we'll get an episode kind of where we're kind of, transitioning away from the school and, going back to the ship and with the Rising Voltaclers, and we're kind of going back to that plot line. Boy Coco would enjoy that. I could see Boy Coco jumping on the jump rope. Nah, Spinel is secretly doing Uber Eats to make that money? Wow, I guess being a researcher just doesn't pay the bills. You'd think it'd probably give him a pretty nice salary, but I guess not. He's got to make his ends meet. He's got to do Uber and maybe do DoorDash or something to make some money on the side, while also funding his evil plot. I say filler jokingly because people seem to hate filler in Horizons, but all Ash era most likely had was filler. I kind of treat it differently because, Ash's era, you could tell when episodes were, not... You could tell that there are episodes that, were there to kind of just kill time before we went off to the next thing. We do have it a little bit here in Horizons, but we have a more interconnected story, so that's why, even with the inconsequential episodes, it kind of almost is you could say it's mostly filler, but it's still canon at the same time. It's hard to say. say, talking about filler and Pokemon, the Pokemon anime is a controversial subject, and some people say there's no filler in the Pokemon anime, and people say there is, and it's just I'm kind of in between on that argument, but yeah. I just, when it comes to Horizons, it does, even in the episode, there are episodes that do feel fillery, but at the same time, they are somewhat still connected to one another. Kind of like the episode with the mysterious Pokeball getting stolen back in Galar. Like, even though that episode felt like it was kind of wasting our time, it led us to the next episode with the Pokeball factory thingy or whatever. And Orla had her focus episode too, so there's that. Why else would you not want to let the other know? Free food? Good point. Keyless Dragon Ball, what's up? I feel bad for Liko. Yeah, but this does help her character at the same time. I'd rather have Zur and Onia or Konia doing the Terrestrial course. I feel like they actually need the battle training. Sango and Onyx seem to be strong trainers. They are strong, but they also, probably need to learn a thing or two, because they kind of failed in their Elite Four battles, and it seems like Sango needs to learn not to blow up her Glalie all the time. I feel like that's going to become the gag with her. She just blows it up when she becomes frustrated. So maybe her arc is learning not to be so flustered all the time and actually focus. Onyx, on the other hand, it's kind of hard to read. He kind of just seems like a blank character, not going to lie. Zur and Konia, unfortunately, I just don't care for them anymore. And I don't know. They had potential, like specifically Konia in the beginning, and they just did nothing with it. I guess if I had another criticism for Horizons, it's that some of the villains are kind of being underutilized, or just to the point where it's just like I don't care for them. Maybe in the future they'll get a bigger role, but for now I'm just like eh. Would have been obvious. I see, but to be honest, I really don't think Amethio is evil like his grandfather. His grandfather, I feel like, wants to change Rikua from a paradise to like hell. I feel like he uses Terrapagos. I don't know what we don't know what their ultimate goal is. Like, we know a little bit. We know that they want to go to Rikua. For why they want to go there, we don't really know yet. But I feel like there's a little bit more here. I feel like Amethio needs a backstory episode now after getting this reveal that he is Gibeon's grandson. Like, I feel like a backstory is like necessary now, because I want to know more about that and kind of like how he came to be in the Explorers. Like, I feel like we need a little bit more setup here, and I feel like we'd be like good from there. But yeah, I feel like Amethio is someone that could possibly, change over to, being a good person. Maybe if he figures out what their plan is actually for the worse for the world. But who knows? The filler here never made me groan like Journeys. Yeah, I gotta agree with that. People seem to hate the second arc, but it looks like it's going to be so good. I can't wait for part 3 to come to Netflix. I don't hate part 2 or chapter 2 of Pokemon Horizons. I feel like the problems that the series had were kind of just becoming more apparent during that part. And they weren't being resolved at that time. I feel like this current arc is fixing a lot of the issues that Horizons had. Specifically making Liko, Roy, and Dot stronger, which they are being thrown up against opponents that are just way too strong for them. And Freed's the one that's saving them all the time. So after a while, it's like, all right, we need to kind of resolve this issue. And part 2 or chapter 2 didn't really help in that regard. It got better towards the end, though. I will say, once we got back to Paldean, once we were in Paldea for a little bit, we finally kind of started to get, solid episodes. But yeah, chapter 2, the Sparkling of Terrapagos had a rough start. Some people like it more than the first chapter, but yeah, I'd say the general consensus is part 2 is where people kind of, lost interest in Horizons, and it kind of came back towards the end. I have my issues with it, but I still think it's, for the most part, pretty good still, or decent. Well, I said basically, what I said basically reminds me of what happened in the Kalos series to do with Alon and Team Flare. Alon was never evil, he just had his own reasons to do what he thought was best with Lysander, plus Team Flare wanted to end Kalos. Yeah, he was in the dark with that whole plot line. That's why he was like really shocked when he found out that like he was essentially being used by them. We could see something similar here, but that's to be seen. We honestly need a looks like song goes blasting off again reference, I swear. Yeah, that would actually be kind of funny. And she's just like, you know what would be funny about that too? And make it different from Team Rocket? You know how she's just always chaotic and just like screaming all the time? Here she is like Glalie blows up and then they're like blasting off and she's just screaming as she's just like flying away angrily and just curses out everyone. That would be funny and be in character for Sango. I'd like to see that, though some people might get annoyed by that and be like, oh, they're just ripping off Team Rocket now. Zern, Onia, or Konia don't have a full moveset. Again, Amethio overshines them. Onia lightens the mood for me in the series. Zer, the boring character, and I get why people don't care for him. Yeah, they just don't do anything with them. Like, after like their initial like appearance, you kind of felt like they could be more like apparent, but when we got introduced to the other admins, they kind of stole the spotlight from them, and it's like, okay, these characters are stronger than they are. Why should we like care for them? I don't know. I feel like they kind of dropped the ball with Zer and Konia. They're like the only grunts we really have. You don't really see other grunts for the Explorers too. Like you don't see like, because they're under Amethio, you don't see like anybody assigned to like Sango, for example, or Onyx. So it's a little weird there. Maybe it's because Amethio is Gibbion's grandson. They gave him like extra assistance or something. Who knows? Also, I gotta say sorry I joke about something sometimes, but about the plot, like with Uber Eats thing. I like to lighten the mood from occasion. Oh, you don't have to apologize, man. I thought that was funny. I was like, when you make jokes like that, I can roll with it. Gotta just point out that maybe that company that is doing the research on the Requiem and stuff ain't paying the bills for Spin Out. Yes, we got to call out I think it's Excess, I think is what the company's called. Got to call them out. They're clearly, not paying their workers well enough. Maybe they need like a strike or something, but Spinell's too busy trying to, take over the world, so he's got to do like Uber Eats and DoorDash on the side in order to make amends, make ends meet, while also conducting his evil plot as he is delivering Taco Bell to somebody. I think his grandfather made up lies about Amethio's father believable enough for him to actually fall for it. That could be. Again, I need a backstory episode. Please and thank you, Pokemon Horizons. Can you please give us that? Because I could see that happening, but who knows? I just need that backstory episode. My girl, Coney, has a good character, just not developed. She has a personality that I liked. People liked her. They were calling her the new Jessie when she showed up, and then they just didn't do anything else with her. She's just kind of just there half the time, along with Zerk, who... The only thing we know about Zerk is that he's a fan of Nidothing, so... That's why it's like, well, it would be funny if he found out later on that Nidothing, Dot are the same person, and he's just conflicted or something, I don't know. Maybe sides with Dot, because he's such a fan of Nidothing. Who knows? If the Amethio disbands from the Explorers, the slight chance Ash cameos. I love Jesse and James to take Oni on Coney and Zer because they need to recruit new members. Who knows? I've already given my thoughts on if Ash returns. They gotta do it right, but yeah. As much as I like Anne, I still don't trust her fully. I'm convinced she isn't Sango because there's just no way, like many people thought, but I do think she's connected to the Explorers and perhaps is a twin to Sango, but who knows? See, the thing about that is we know that Anne and Sango are not the same person. The previous episode confirmed that because Sango was participating in the battles and Anne was sitting with, Liko, Roy, and the others. Liko, Roy, Dot, Nimona, they're sitting in the crowd, so they can't be the same person. That being said, she's still not clear. Though she clearly saw them battle, so who knows. We're still kind of not past that point where, you know, we can be like, oh, and, you know, she's not part of the Explorers. It just kind of frustrates me because, like, it's like, again, we didn't get to see Anne battle in all this. It would have been nice to see Anne, you know, battle alongside an Elite Four member, but oh well. That'd be another critique I do have here. Like, we got to see Sango and Onyx battle, but not Anne? Really? Come on now. Waiting Sango to reveal a second Pokemon. That's if she even has anything more than her Glalie. Because right now it just seems like all she has is Glalie that just blows up all the time. The Explorers are actually probably non-profit, self-made, I think. Because I actually don't think the other big evil villain companies actually know they exist. Yeah, they seem like more of like a secret society kind of thing. Where it's like the really people outside of, like, you know, Liko, Roy, Dot, you know, Freed, the other Rising Bull Tacklers, and then a few others. Oh, obviously Liko's grandmother. Don't seem to really know much about them. Unless Clavel and Gita know something. I bet she will only explore with without two mons, maybe. Spinel also has a connection to Freed. Yeah, they're pretty much connected because Freed's a former employee of Excess. I think it's Excess. Is it Excess? I'm looking that up right now, so I know for sure. If I can type, please, Mitchell. I am going to look this up right now so that I know what the place is called for sure. It is called... Come on, computer, please work with me. Exceed. It's Exceed, not Excess. Sorry. Exceed. Got it now. I know I was kind of close. Yeah, they both... Freed's a former employee of Exceed, whereas Spino seems to be a current employee, so they have that connection, so they have that dynamic going. Speaking of a second Sango Pokemon, imagine she gets a Pokemon with Damp, and after its ability works, she immediately releases it. Yeah, she gets frustrated. That would be in Sango's personality and character to do something like that. No, I wasn't discussing Ash return, I'm just betting Amethio disbands. Just so... Where's Coney and Zergo? I don't really consider them Amethio's grunts. I consider them his friends. Well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't really like trying to make a big deal of that. I get what you're saying. I see your point, though. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to go take care of some things. Good talking, though. Alright, Pokefan. Thank you once again for showing up. It's always a pleasure. Everyone, say bye to Pokefan. Hope you have a good one. Yeah, Microsoft Excel, that's definitely Freed's company. Yep. Yeah, that's odd, man. And Anne seems to be on the talls of the gang. Plus, she knows too much. Tails, excuse me. Don't know why I said talls. Talls. What if Anne is actually going up against the Explorers and we just don't know it? We need one more like to 15, guys. Can we do it? We need one more like. If you haven't liked the stream, please like it. And also vote in the poll. No way they would be taking orders from Amethio. Zirconia gotta be like in their early 20s to mid 20s. Amethio is only like 15, 17. Yeah, Amethio is clearly a teenager. Yeah, Zirconia are older. Who knows? He is Gibeon's grandson after all, so he could probably call the shots just in that regard too. It's kind of hard. You can't really tell. Amethio looks like he's maybe like anywhere between the ages of 13 and 16, somewhere in that range. It would be my argument. It's not just that company though. Either Amethio or Spinel are also students of Liko's mother, like Freed. Maybe. Oh, sweet. We hit 15 likes. 16 likes. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Can we get to 20? I know I'm pushing it a bit, but this is probably the best I've done on a stream in a while. But thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all. You're all the best. I wouldn't be here without you guys. You guys are what make these streams. I was only going to go to episode 10 with these streams, and here we are 57 episodes later, or 56 episodes later, still doing these live discussion streams. You guys are awesome. Reminds me of Kukui and Guzma being students of Hala in the Lola series. I know there's got to be something off with her. Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, I need that backstory episode with Amethio. It is needed at this point. I want to know more about his background. I want to know why he why he became involved with the explorers and the organization with his grandfather. Why he doesn't care about his father. I want to know that backstory. Give us an episode, please, and thanks. Amethio has white hair, so he's got to be older. Well, I don't necessarily think having white hair makes him old. You can have white hair and still be young. I would love Zer's Rhydon to be involved in the Rhyperior. Love Rhyperior didn't realize people hated that mon. I don't mind Rhyperior. I wouldn't say he's my favorite Pokemon, but I don't mind him. You mean he is a bit of a drastic difference. Some people don't like Rhyperior or Magmortar. But yeah, I don't mind Rhyperior. Some people, I will say, don't like it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, see, Magmortar, some people don't care for. Rhyperior is decent. Electivire is the one that people like, though. I think it's more so has to do with their design. I've shown people, some of these Pokemon, they're like, what is that? Anyways, I'm getting white hairs, and I'm only 26 going on 27. Yeah, that happens. But it's usually it starts in your 20s and 30s. It doesn't become way more apparent than later on, but yeah, I don't think again, having white hairs makes you old. You can literally be young and have a full head of white hair. What's that one comedian? Steve Martin. He had like white hair and he wasn't like super old. Oh hey, look, it's Emerald. He showed up. I mean, Electivire has probably the best design out of the three. Not to mention it, you know, being utilized by Paul probably helped with its popularity in some people's minds too. Coop. Rhyperior is Coop. Anyways. Don't really care for Magmortar and realized Rhyperior was a Cinnamon when I saw it. Kalos. The Kalos one was a bit demolished. Kalos one Wobbuffet demolished. I fell in love with him. Oh yeah, he's Gen 4. Gen 4 introduced a bunch of new evolutions for some of the existing mons. That Magmortar, Electivire, Rhyperior, Tangrowth. I want to say Nosepass got Probopass in Gen 4 too, just as a few examples. Yeah, I know it was used by Gary. Of course, we need episodes to back up our thoughts, but like I said, a Methio Spinel, definitely no Freed. And he knows them, but I'm leaning towards a Methio only because when Spinel and Freed came face to face, it seemed like Freed wasn't that familiar with him. Probably. There might be a little bit of history there, but we need that backstory. Beat Pikachu at the end of the Battle Frontier AG series. Yeah, I remember that. I remember. I love Magnezone. That's another one too. I'd love my boy Spinel to evolve his Magnemite. That'd be cool. Guess we'll see. Okay. Wow. 17 likes. I can't believe people had mixed reactions to Liko crying. You talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it a little while ago. Just to summarize what I said, I think the whole thing is kind of a silly discourse in my opinion. I was going to say, of all things to kind of nitpick in the series, I feel like this is not the thing. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, you missed a comment before the one you read. Sorry. Kind of getting I'm having a hard time keeping up with the chat. Not gonna lie. But what I was trying to say was, I said from all things to get, have an issue with the series, I feel like this is on the low end of things. Not to mention subs really did help this episode and kind of hammer in why she kind of got emotional at the end. There are things you can criticize, but this is not one of them, in my opinion. To each their own, I suppose, but bruh. I don't know. I don't want to get into it again just because I kind of went on a 10-minute spiel about my issues with it and why I don't think it's a big deal, but yeah. The bottom line is, yeah. It was a nice, honestly in my opinion, a nice moment, and I don't see any problem with it. I think it's totally fine, especially considering we've had other characters that are of similar age that have, you know, broken down too. Anyways, I would love to see some growth of the other characters when they return to the ship. Yeah, that'd be nice. They're gonna probably need it since they've been absent. The other Rising Bolt tacklers, minus Freed, who's gonna be showing up again next episode. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Is she is a kid. She's 10. It's not like it's not some character inconsistency. It's a normal human like emotional reaction to it. Not to mention the subs literally back it up too, and the fact is she was super stiff in the battle, and then by the time she got to the end of it, she was very much enjoying it, so when she lost, it kind of hit her all at once. So to me, it makes sense. YouTube should allow more words to type. Yeah, there's a certain limit to it. Sorry. It probably just you hit like your certain limit. I forget what the character limit is. I know there is a character limit to it, so I'm just not sure what it is exactly. Maybe 200 words? Or 200 inputs, I should say. But wow, this stream has done really well. Oh my gosh. For some reason, the way she cried reminded me of how May cried at the end of the Kanto Festival. Yeah. That was a while back, yeah. I miss Murdoch and his cutie rocks roughed. They'll be back. This arc probably has another 10 or 15 episodes to go. We got 3 more gym battles to do, and then probably a final test and maybe a finale for this arc. And I'm also going to emphasize that Penny and Dot exchange contact, so keep that in mind. I would be so happy is Drampa got a haircut when they return. Do you mean the old guy? Old man? Mighty G? Ludlow. It's annoying because I got off my another commentary. I wonder if they will battle Gita. You know, that could be like a final test or something like that. Who knows? I don't care for him to ball bound as Quagsire. Yeah, it'd be kind of nice if we did something more with him besides, you know, him being, you know, used in as a gag character, but yeah. As a Mighty G, aka All Might. Really makes me not like him. I mean, he's kind of like there just to kind of just provide his wisdom half the time. He'll say like subtle things that kind of are just there to kind of just be like, hey, you know, you should be looking out for this kind of thing. You know, something I thought about the other day when we see the Sandwich Dragons and when Arven will appear. Okay. Sandwich Dragons, I don't feel like they are relevant at this moment, but they might play a role later down the road. Maybe. Arven could potentially appear here since Mabosstiff has not appeared yet. So we don't know if they're... if that Maboss stuff that showed up on the poster a while back is his. He isn't in the poster, so we'll see. Hope so. Hopefully they don't make her weak. I mean, I'd say, considering it's the anime, they're probably gonna make her, you know, stronger than the Elite Four members. Just to keep the power scaling in check. Rather the Quagsire has gone... I'd rather Quagsire has gone to Konia. Would have gone nice with her character. Maybe. Yes, I would love to see Champion Ash versus Gita in the exhibition match as the gang watch in awe. I don't know, I'd prefer Nimona, but yeah. Would have complimented her nicely because I'd considered it too similar personality to Wobbuffet. Well, I get your point. I just don't feel, considering they're not super relevant anyways, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like they probably should have done more with them, but whatever. It's kind of too late. Too little too late now. I just don't know if Quagsire would work. I get your point. I don't know. I feel like Wobbuffet is Wobbuffet, and it's kind of iconic to Team Rocket too. It made sense for them. Nimona would be awesome too. Yeah. At least we got Nimona and Roy having a little bit of a rivalry going on. Quagsire is dopey still. Yeah. Okay, wow. I'm kind of surprised. We got quite a crowd here. We've been going on for an hour and a half, over an hour and a half now. My gosh, where'd the time goes? Okay, well, I guess we'll just go on for however long until I need to eat. If Team Rocket do cameo, I would love Jessie to trade her for a chocolate Whooper. I remember Jessie always liking Whooper. I remember the episode of Wobbuffet mistake. Why not for a Whooper? Or James' old nanny. Yeah, I had breakfast, but kind of needing lunch. Maybe in the next like hour I can get something. I really hope Penny owns an Eevee or something else. Someone else catches an Eevee like Roy. I'm gonna just go on a limb and assume that yes, Penny probably has an Eevee or some sort of evolution. She literally has an Eevee phoned. She's an Eevee girl. You get an Eevee, I get an Eevee. We all get Eevees. Y'all must be in America. I am, at least. I can't speak for everybody. I know some people in the chat have said that they come from other places in the world. I've seen some people from the UK show up here, for example. I think Sciism's from the UK, maybe. Please keep Eevee away from Liko. I am so tired of an Eevee. Only girl characters, I hate it. Oh. I mean, we've had an Eevee like the last like few series. Like, let's see, Serena had one, Lana had one, Koharu had one. Yeah, probably if we keep it to Penny, I think we're good. Unless you get that Eevee Dragon type. Draconion. Or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. True, but it's just usually male characters never have an Eevee. I get your point. I just don't know what to say about that. Well, when Eevee appeared in the original series, there was a boy who had the Eevee brothers. I remember that episode. Gladion and Gary had one. Good point. Gladion had Umbreon. And Spinel has Umbreon too. Ooh! 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 Sorry. I'm getting super excited because there's a lo-fi remix of this. Oh, this is amazing. The ending theme from Yoshi's Island. This is awesome. I'm talking about actual characters, not randoms. I get it. I get you. I'm just pointing out Spinel also had Umbreon, so there's that. Maybe give Penny Glaceon or something. I don't know. Or Leafeon. Sandy was cute, but it was a waste of a character for Lana not to Vaporeon or not even teach it water moves. Dislike Lana? I don't hate Lana. I actually like Lana. It's just, yeah, that's probably the one problem I had with like year 3 of Sun and Moon was the Eevee kind of, they were building it up and, it went to Lana and it cut its hair, which was already a problem I had, and then, yeah, it didn't evolve into Vaporeon, which I felt was like, okay, we're giving Lana the Eevee, might as well make it Vaporeon at that point, and didn't do that. Oh well. We're gonna Spino. Yeah, I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah, I think that was like the one problem I had with year 3 of Sun and Moon, besides like a couple of episodes I didn't like. That was like the other thing that was like, I guess, a point against year 3 of Sun and Moon. I really liked Koharu Sumi. Look, don't want to get into a whole spiel here, but if you go back and look at my Journeys reviews from way back when, you could tell that I was just joking around, but I was one of the few people that was like, hey, this is actually a character that seems really cool. She has a, like, off-putting personality right now, but she's a character that I feel has potential. I literally was championing Koharu back in the day. I just don't think that, I think as soon as she got Eevee, her character kind of went downhill, unfortunately. And kind of didn't really, like, grow much from there, unfortunately, so. I'm out of Spotlight Duel of Let's Go. Yeah, don't remind me of Let's Go, bro. We like to think that didn't happen. Alright, it's your opinion, bro. And they should have gave her Leafeon or something. May owns Glaceon, Serena, Sylveon. Oh. Koharu was a waste of time, sorry. Chloe Koharu. They did her dirty. Remember the Mario Kart tournament we had? You're talking about the one we just had? Go wasn't pleasant either. Go had potential, but it kind of just fell apart at the end. It's one of the things where you could have had really good execution and then just doesn't really, you know, land its ending. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but whatever. I think she will evolve Eevee. I think the opposite. She will evolve Eevee one day. Eevee can't evolve, so she can evolve friendship-based evolution. So Koharu's development, that Mario Kart tournament. Did I? Oh my gosh, you're going like way back. There was some other stuff that we did tournament names for that I kind of regret, but yeah. Yeah, I vaguely remember that now. Jeez Louise, 11 people here and it's already almost 2 hours in. What's going on? Devin was happy then. Yeah, man. I want Devin to come back. I only see him here and there. I miss him. Wow, dudes. Oh. We need 2 more likes and we're at 20. Can we do it? Can we make it happen? 24 votes. Oh my gosh. Go is a collector. I love Pokemon. I don't have an issue with who they are or with their goals, but the writers, sorry, did them dirty. Ash was kind of done dirty too. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it out there that Journey's kind of is like, it's wasted potential, the series. When it did things right, it did things right, but when it was like bad, oof. It was not good, bro. We tried to see what we would name the tournament, and it came down to Koharu. And I'm gonna have to go back and look this up now that you're like reminding me of this, because I need to go back and see what Devin said. The other tournaments we did later were wild too. The names, yeah, that's why I said I kind of regret utilizing you know what name, just because of that was we'll just put it out that it was in poor taste. So, Koharu's development is funny though. They would have mentioned Jesse's mom in the end of the. They could have mentioned Jesse's mom at the end of Project Mew. Maybe. It's meh, a little regret. It was funny though. I don't think it was horrible. Not horrible, but yeah, not something that I'd probably do again, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. The Masters 8 pissed me off most surprisingly. Oh boy, that tournament started off so bad. Okay, I know I didn't want to evolve until like I just want to put it out there that I don't really like to bring up journeys a ton when it comes to these streams. And to be honest, we haven't really brought it up a lot lately, but just to put it out there, I think that the Masters 8 it had potential. And there are definitely moments of greatness, Ash versus Leon, and most of Ash versus Cynthia. Mainly the beginning part, honestly. But yeah, Alon versus Leon, oof. Diantha versus Leon, oof. Lance versus Diantha was decent. I'd probably say that was decent. The best battle in the quarterfinals was Iris versus Cynthia. Ash versus Steven, nah. Had some moments, but yeah. You love bringing up journeys. You guys like bringing it up. I try not to bring it up. The only time I ever bring it up is if I ever have to make a comparison. I wasn't trying to get in journeys. You're fine. It's a topic that comes up. Really? Steven versus Ash? Okay, I guess. Teach their own, I suppose. Don't mention Alon? We don't talk about that. We also don't talk about what happened in the community that specific day, because let's just say that things were very toxic, more than usual. Emerald may know what I'm talking about too. Let's just say that things were said and, you know, yeah, it got bad. So, yeah. Gotta get ready for work, Mitchell. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for showing up and chatting with us. Hopefully you have a great rest of the weekend yourself. You take care, and we will see you in the next one. Everyone say goodbye to Kevin. Even Japan hated what happened to Lon. Yes, yeah. And with that, we will stop talking about journeys. Oh, hey. Underwater Mario World theme. Lo-fi. I like this remix. It's a really nice one. That was effed up. Okay. You know, I'm kind of just surprised we still have 9 people here, bro. You know, I'm not used to having this many people here still. It's usually by this point we get down to, you know, just a couple left, but hey. What's up, y'all? I think we're just gonna go on just a little bit longer because I do need to eat here. So if there's anything else you guys want to chat about, go ahead and put it in the chat. Oh boy. With Sharon here, I know they stopped by and talked, but maybe I missed it. No, she hasn't been here today. She doesn't... I've kind of noticed that she's not usually here for the live discussions. She might be busy or something. But she's been showing up for a lot of the other streams. Have you seen the fake videos of Tom Holland and the new fake Pokemon live action movie? No, but that sounds kind of intriguing a little bit. I legit thought it was real. Was it like AI or something? It's kind of scary where we're at with that technology now. That's being able to reflect real life things. Kind of scary if you ask me. It's not real. Oh, didn't Tom Holland unbreak from movies after Spider-Man No Way Home? I'm not sure. I mean, probably. I haven't watched the Spider-Man movies. I gotta go. One day. I gotta get caught up on Marvel. I'm so behind. Alright, since we have about 7 people here, I'm gonna do one last push. We have 2 more likes to 20. If you haven't liked the video or stream, you should totally consider doing that. I would definitely appreciate it, and it helps. I'm trying to get as many people in here as possible, as these live discussions have been growing and growing, especially this year. It's kind of crazy, but you know, we try our best here. So just 2 more likes. He took time for himself after that. Yeah, it's amazing, that movie. One day. I saw the live action Detective Pikachu 3 times. It was awesome. It's decent. I just haven't watched it in a while. It was weird animation, but actually cool. Okay, for sure. Okay. I know my friend's kids were watching it the other week. I walked in and they were watching Detective Pikachu. Oh yeah, or Emerald. I'll probably be posting this on Discord before I get off here. I just want to let you know today's Jeff's birthday. So I might post a thing if you want to, you know, join in and say happy birthday. I believe he's out of town right now, but yeah. The live action is better than a lot of the regular movies. Oh, you mean the regular Pokemon movies? Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu is hilarious. Yeah, there's some things I liked about it. I haven't watched it. I only watched it the first time. But yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. We've been going for about 2 hours. So I thank you all for definitely being here. So we're gonna go ahead and probably wrap things up here at 2. Why you gotta be out of town? Probably celebrating his birthday. I'll see him soon though. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. It's about 2 now. These tired props. I just need 1 more like. We just need 1 more like. We're at 19. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm hungry, guys. I gotta go and, you know, eat so I can, you know, survive. We had a really good discussion today. Went on longer than normal, but hey, it is what it is. We had 25 votes. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this poll to an end. If you haven't voted already, I'm ending the poll now. We ended up with 10-9 getting 83% of the vote. 8-7 got 15%, and the other 2 didn't even get voted on once. So it kind of tells you how people felt about the episode. I guess we're gonna have to go with what people say. I gave it like an 8.5. So how about a 9 overall? We'll do that. Solid episode. But yeah, I am hungry. I'm hungry. I need foods. I gotta figure out what I want. Actually want to eat. Do I want hot dogs or like Sit down somewhere. I'll figure that out. I just need food of some sort. But yeah, this was a very fun chat. So I'm gonna head out now. Oh my gosh, there's 7 people here. What's up, y'all? Oh. Hey, Yep. Have a good one, that girl. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. And I will see you later, Emerald. But yeah, I'm gonna get going. I need foods. I know there's 7 people here, so I just want to thank you all for joining me once again. I definitely appreciate it. I was originally only gonna do 10 of these. Like I said earlier, 10 of these live streams in the beginning and stop at episode 10. But here we are, 56 episodes later, and I am still doing this. So you guys are the best. If I could get one more like here as the stream comes to an end, that'd be great. If not, that's alright. We came really close. So I really appreciate you all. So we'll be doing another live stream for episode 57 next Saturday. I will say, going into July, we are going to have some slight changes with the schedule. I think for the one that's airing on July 12th and then the 26th, those live streams are going to be delayed a bit because I'm going to be out of town both Saturdays. One day I'm going camping, and the other one I'm going, I guess, essentially staying in a cabin with family over that weekend too. So just keep in mind that it is summer now, and you know there's going to be stuff coming up. So yeah. So just an FYI, I don't know if we're going to be doing any game streams this week. I've been a little bit, I haven't really had enough time for that stuff lately, but maybe we'll do one or something. Who knows? Might have a Horizons video coming out this week too for the upcoming episodes. I just realized almost that time we would have had a movie. Yeah, pretty much usually around July when they had the movies. Oh well. Maybe one day. We'll see. Anywho, it's time for me to go eat now, so I'm going to bring the stream to a close. So if you're still here, you're one of the 7 people that is still here, thank you so much for joining. You have a great rest of the day, rest of the weekend, and I will see you all later. Bye.